Early on, I had ordered a new fuel line, the hard one, because the original one is pretty rusty. So it's been sitting on my shelf a long time. Finally got it out because I needed it. Started bending it. First of all, it had fittings on both ends. The original one doesn't. I don't know if they were cut off to install the non-original fuel pump or not. So cut those off, cut them short. Straightened it out because it comes in a roll. Started bending it, and as you can see here, this is the original one right there. It's about 2 feet too short, so that ain't no good. So what's a boy to do? Find half-price Austin Healey parts at your local hardware store. Went to the hardware store today with one of those fittings that had a piece of the copper still on it. And lo and behold, they had the right size copper, so I had them give me 4 meters of it, and so I have plenty of it now. Probably could have gotten away with 3 meters, but I wanted to be safe. Anyway, so I got that for half the price of what I paid for from the official Healey parts store. Anyway, so I'm gonna have some extra copper pipe at the end of this. Also, the fitting for it comes right off of the gas tank. It's a 90-degree fitting on my original one. It had a straight fitting on the one that I ordered, so I had to take it off and solder it on the new one. It also has a fitting on the other end near the fuel pump, so I'm guessing the SU pumps have it was hard plumbed instead of with flexible rubber tubes. Anywho, that's what I've been doing now. Time to install the fuel line, get fuel to the carburetor, and then maybe I'll hook power up. We'll see what's next. This is why I always fill up the radiator with water the first time after a major rebuild. It it keeps you from wasting antifreeze. Going way too fast.
So what are you doing now?
I turned the distributor. So my water temperature gauge is reading 80 pounds of pressure, which that's not how it's supposed to be. This is a brand new gauge. When I put water into the system for the first time, it did this. I'm not quite sure why. I don't know if they didn't calibrate it at the shop, but it's no good like this. So I'm going to try just pull off the needle and reset it. Clutch is a little hydraulic arm that pushes a lever into the pushes this lever here. You can see it from the top. Oh hi, I didn't realize you were making a video. So this is the clutch slave cylinder. It's the other end of the hydraulic part of the clutch, and it has a little hydraulic arm that pushes this lever that engages and disengages the clutch inside the bell housing of the transmission. And I'm just bolting it on.
You can see so much better.
Anyway, this here, can you see this?
I could if you take away your hand.
This is the boot we're looking for.
This is what?
There's a new one of these somewhere. My order.
Oh, you want me to find it? Yeah?
Today, since I've already reached my goal for the week of getting the engine running, I'm just down to doing little piddly stuff. I think one of the ways I want to progress, I need to put the exhaust on, right? So to put the exhaust on, I need to make sure I have all the heat shielding in the right place. To make sure I have all the heat shielding in the right place, I need to put the seats in the right place. So I'm going to start at the front and work my way back, and just attaching all these little odds and ends and trying to get things buttoned up. When I come back from holidays, hopefully all well rested, I'm going to get back onto the body work, try and get the shrouds on, and move forward with that sort of thing. And then once all that's done, come back and finish up all the odds and ends that I have left. Anyway, making good progress. Starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel. It's not quite so dark. Having the engine in, running, really makes me feel better. I had given up and ordered new seat rails because the ones that were on it were off something else. Also bought the wooden strip to go with it and the screws and the whole 9 yards. With the new floor pans, I don't have the holes in them. I found on a forum JPEG of a picture of the measurements with the measurements of where the holes are. So first thing I'm going to do is mount these on the seat frames and get them parallel before I try to drill any holes or anything. The quality of these looks really good. It slides on these ball bearings. They're not quite loose in there, but they kind of roll back and forth. Might be funny sounding when you're stopping and going. but slides like butter. Alright, so let's put it together. According to the part number, there's a left hand and a right hand version of this. This is the part number for the left hand side, the driver's side. Though in the picture, they showed this over here. So put it on according to the part number, I'll put it in the car and see if it fits. I don't know. It seems odd that it would be hanging that far out on the side when it could easily be underneath. But, you know, I'll follow the numbers first. So after a brief moment of panic, thinking maybe I ended up with two rails from the same side of the car, it turns out that, and some online research, it turns out that I got one of each, and I don't know about the numbers, but the online research says it goes inside, so it goes inside. It just makes sense. Otherwise, it's going to be sticking out all over the place. So that's neater, more compact, ready to go. There we go, I got the driver's seat bolted in. Lining up the bolts is very critical. If you get them off a little bit, you're in trouble. I had to file a little bit to get them to line up as they should. Something about centering holes in metal, and even punch it in the middle of the drill still seems to wander. Anyway, very happy with the progress I've made today. I've got the front part of the exhaust tubes on. I hung some of the initial brackets for the exhaust. I tackled this. So I'm on my way. Next thing, I have a heat shield that goes under the driver's seat that I couldn't install until the driver's seat was installed, because I needed to know where these bolts went. There's holes for the exhaust, for the heat shield down below to line up. So now that I have that, when I get back from holidays, I can put that on, and then put on the muffler, and then put on the tailpipe. So it's been a nice path going from the front to the back, with lots of different projects kind of coming together and ending up, and also I've managed to have all the parts I need, which is kind of nice. So with that, I'm off to the holidays. Have a great summer.
If you liked this video, click the like button below. If you want to come along on the ride as we complete this project, click the subscribe button. If If you want to make sure Google reminds you every time there's a new video, click the alarm bell. Your support is very much appreciated.